This morning we're here at Walla Walla Vineyards with Miles Anderson. And Miles, it's a pleasure to be with you this morning and meet you.
Nice to have you here.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about the history and how you got into the wine business.
Well, Walla Walla Vineyards was started in 1995 by my partner, Cordy Veneri, and I. And we specialize in making red wines, particularly all 6 of the Bordeaux varietals, some Syrah and some Sangiovese, and also some Dolcetto.
Okay.
And we produce about 5,000 cases of wine a year in a good vintage, and
right.
Sometimes we don't have perfect vintages. And we were the 8th winery in Walla Walla. There are over 100 wineries now in Walla Walla, and growing rapidly, and I expect that we're going to have probably 200 very, very soon.
Right. So what is probably the biggest change you've seen since 1995 in this region?
Well, what has happened is that wine has become a principal commodity here.
Okay.
And because of that, the community has grown economically. And we've gone through some very poor economic times in America recently, but Walla Walla has not experienced that simply because of the wine that's here. And the first winery that, in modern times, that was created here was Leonetti Cellars in 1978. And it's a magnet winery, well known, and people from all over the world come here to taste and purchase their wines.
Okay. And
since that time, we've had a number of really small garage-type wineries that have been created. And in 2000, we created the Center for Enology and Viticulture, which is a degree program for viticulturists and enologists. And we've had almost 300 people enroll in degree track courses there. And we have 29 of our graduates who have created their own wineries.
Wonderful. That's great. That's great. Tell us about the property where we are right now. What is the acreage? How much is planted to fruit? And what varieties are you growing here?
The property that we're sitting on is a property that we purchased in 1995. There are 4 20-acre plots here,
okay.
Owned by different people. And one of them, of course, is Leonetti's.
Oh.
They have a block here.
Right.
And A. Maurice has a block here, and the Chan family has a block here. And this is all dry farmed. And in our particular 11.5-acre vineyard, we have 2 clones of Cabernet Sauvignon, 2 clones of Merlot, a clone of Sangiovese, half an acre of Petit Verdot, mm-hmm. and a couple acres with different clones of Syrah.
Okay. And in terms of style of Walla Walla Vintners, if someone had never tasted your wine and you had to kind of impart on them, the sense of what your wine is like, how would you describe it? What's your style?
Well, our style is that it's always expressive early, but
okay.
It's also expressive later in its life, mm-hmm. and it ages well, and it has a lot of spice. It's well balanced, and it has a lot of cherry noses,
right.
and a lot of currant in our wines, and because they're dry farmed, they're very intense and very concentrated because the yields are low.
Okay, so we're going to taste some of that wine shortly, but before we do that, I'm going to ask you one last question, and that's the winemaking process. Who makes the wines here? Is it you?
There's a team of us that make it.
Right.
And because when you're doing about 5,000 cases during harvest, you need a good solid crew that will help produce it. Mm-hmm. And at my age, lifting is not my favorite thing to do anymore.
Right.
And so we train the people that do the specific winemaking for us. We're around them daily. Mm-hmm. I spend time in the vineyard tasting grapes to make sure that we bring them in at the right time. And so it's a great team of people here that do that.
Okay, so we're going to take a little break right now. When we come back, we're going to have some wine lined up, and we'll go through a little bit of a tasting.